Since 2022, the UK enforces full border controls with the EU. A new system is now in place called GVMS. Recently, common errors have been discovered, so HMRC has asked Customs Manager and others to share important messages. As you know, Full Border Controls 2022 means a lot of things, and we have previously in other videos talked about each of these points. Today's point is going to be specifically on border controls. As you know, ports and other border locations are now required to control goods moving between Great Britain and the EU, imports into Great Britain and exports out of Great Britain. And this means that unless you have or your goods have a valid declaration and you have received customs clearance, that you will not be able to either import the goods into free circulation or move them out of Great Britain into the EU. There is an exception for Ireland, but in order to avoid that the goods get stuck in the port, you need to follow important rules. The GVMS system is the pre-clearance system that is used in some ports of Great Britain in order to make sure that goods can clear the port and do not get stuck in the port. And that allows the port to be sure that a customs declaration was lodged when the GVMS system is successfully used. So the first thing you want to be doing as a haulier, you want to be registering the Goods Vehicle Movement Service, and you can do this on Gov.uk. If you're a haulier and you move goods through a port in the UK that uses the Goods Vehicle Movement Service, then you'll need to register for the service to get your goods through customs. Please note, not every port uses GVMS, and you will need to verify prior to embarking on your journey if the port you're passing through requires you to use GVMS. Therefore, you need to register. Step 1, find out if your port uses GVMS. Secondly, register for the service if you need to. Thirdly, note that there are special arrangements, or continuous arrangements, I should say, when goods are moving from the island of Ireland to Great Britain. And that is while the discussions on the Northern Ireland Protocol are continuing. As I've mentioned before, there are common errors that have been noted with the use of GVMS. So HMRC is sharing top tips and how to avoid these errors. So HMRC has been made aware of some common user errors occurring when customers are creating goods movement reference numbers into GVMS. If you're moving goods through border location that uses GVMS, make sure that you get a GMR for all movements, including empties. Now, if you're not sure what a GMR is, you've got to check out the expert blog on our expert blog site, or join our online GVMS training that will guide you through the entire GVM system in under 3 hours. So you need to get a GMR for all movements, including empties. Do not use the trailer references when entering your vehicle registration number, the VRN, into GMR for an company movement, as this means the carrier will be unable to validate the GMR. The VRN must match the vehicle presenting the GMR, which is quite logical. Third, do not add EU export movement reference numbers into the GMR. This is a GB system only. Ensure you're entering the correct type of declaration reference, which is relevant for this movement. For exports via Chief or CDS, this is the DUCR. For imports via CDS, this is the MRN. And for imports via Chief, this is the ERN. For full details around which declaration types should be entered into a GMR, refer to the Get a Goods Movement Reference Number on gov.uk. And if any of this is very confusing to you, just reach out to us and we'll be able to talk you through it. There are two more top tips for declarant. Use the dual location code for all export declarations from GB to EU when moving through the border locations specifically of Dover and the Eurotunnel. And another top tip that often gets missed, ensure that RRSO1 is included in your import or export declaration if your goods are being moved via a GVMS border location. Otherwise, the GMR will be invalid and your goods will be delayed. Now, I've already said that there is a specific AI statement, RRSO1, and this has created quite a lot of questions. So, as I've explained, here's a little bit more about the RRSO1 since this has prompted so many questions. As you know, at border locations that operate GVMS, the haulier will be required to provide the carrier with a GMR obtained from the GVMS. The GMR, as you know, is a unique reference beneath which individual customs, transit and safety security declaration numbers will be linked together for that vehicle, or if there's no vehicle, for the container. And you also know that each GMR is valid for a single crossing and can only be used once. Now, what is absolutely essential is that the AI statement, RRSO1, if you're using Chief, is entered into box 44, or if you're using CDS, it's data element 22. And that needs to be added to either Chief or your CDS declaration. And that needs to be then sent to the GVMS system for the GMR to be created. You are, of course, allowed to add or remove RRSO1 in the declaration up until the point when the goods are arrived in GVMS at the port or frontier. Please note that you cannot add or remove RRSO1 once the entry is arrived. And please note that failure to provide the RRSO1 within the declaration will result in GVMS not being able to arrive the declaration. Now, I've talked a lot about arriving declaration, and there's quite a lot of confusion about arriving declaration, pre-clearing declaration, what port uses what system to clear goods. And I must admit that I would very much welcome a complete list of every port and what the provisions are for every port. In the meantime, what we have is this information, particular to specific ports, notably Dover, the Eurotunnel, Holyhead, Fishguard, Liverpool, Heysham, Milford, Haven, Pembroke. For all others, please see us, write us a message to find out what to do if you're not sure. For the changes for exports going through Dover, Eurotunnel, Holyhead and Fishguard, declarants must always submit and gain permission to proceed by submitting an arrived export declaration. And as we've discussed just now, additional information statement, RRSO1. For Liverpool, Heysham, Milford, Haven, Pembroke, if the carrier is using the Goods Vehicle Movement Service, GVMS, then the declarant must submit an arrived export declaration. If we're talking about inventory linking, then the declarant must submit a pre-lodge declaration and must not use the AI statement RRSO1. You don't follow these steps that I've outlined, including using the statement as and when appropriate, it is likely that you won't be able to board the vessel. HMRC continues to undertake a wide variety of engagement activity with stakeholders to ensure they understand the new obligations and processes which will be in place. We are also here to support you in the process too. You can always reach out to us if you've got any questions on this. We recommend that if you haven't done this so, you register for the GVMS system and you find out how to move goods through the port that uses this service. If you're looking for any of the links, you're going to find them here, and we're going to put them also in the description below, so you can always refer to the relevant guidance on Gov.uk. In case this guidance changes and this video does not, please make sure you refer to the guidance on Gov.uk for all the latest updates. And if you're interested in much more details about GVMS and you'd like to understand why, what, how, and when and where, then we recommend that you consider our online training offer. And now for the launch of GVMS, we have reduced the price and we are granting everyone 50% deduction. It's an online training on GVMS that you can study anytime, anywhere, from any device. It's under 3 hours, and there are 3 modules to complete, and that will give you a really, really good overview of GVMS. It's recorded live, it has videos, it's guides, graphics, and more. It's interactive with quizzes, questions. It has a final test to reach certification, and that will give you a nice, shiny certificate of completion to showcase your achievement. And as I said, it's 50% discount for everyone. If you're a professional plan subscriber, it's free completely, and the link is here. If you're concerned about CDS, then we offer a 2-part CDS training. It's 8 hours in total, and it allows you to confidently lodge CDS declarations as this becomes active later in the year. There will be scenario walkthrough, hands-on training, and the checks of understanding. It's interactive, engaging, and fun. There is an exam in the end to get the certificate of completion, and you can click on the links to find out more and book. And if you want to know more about us, we are a specialized provider of customs and global trade solution for exporting and importing businesses and partners. We offer a one-stop shop approach, allowing our clients to reach their global customers faster, cut red tape and paperwork, de-risk and stay compliant, and grow globally faster. The one-stop shop service proposition includes customs filing, a ongoing helpline throughout the year, consultancy for your bespoke questions, and training. And if you're interested in ongoing support and you'd like a customs manager on speed dial, then please consider our annual support service. Here are some of the questions we get. This is the common questions that we help in our help desk, from customs clearance questions, CDS, chief, customs brokerage, Incoterms question, import-export questions, how do I questions, duty savings, supply chain and routings, establishment, SBS, classification, valuation, origin, export control, sanctions. All of that are commonly questions that we get. Here are 3 plans for you to choose from to find the right one that works for you. All the benefits are also on our website, and please hit us up for more details. Thank you very much for your attention, and we look forward to your questions.